This is a very important question that many people answer incorrectly, facing many financial and mental problems. When is it still worth investing in yourself, and when it's already possible to invest in something else? In this video, I want to tell you about why more often you have to focus on yourself and developing your skills than on anything else. When I was 18 years old, I actively began investing the money I earned in my projects, and I believe that time it wasn't a mistake, but I want to focus your attention on something else. I did this extremely carefully, and only after years of developing my skills in management, accounting, self-discipline, and so on. By the time I had read a huge amount of business literature, taking a lesson from each book and applying it to my life, I had built and tested many of the concepts that would lead me to success. I met and communicated with hundreds of entrepreneurs, took advice from them, and listened to their experience. At that time, I had already made quite a lot of mistakes and managed to get out of a couple of scrapes. What I'm saying is that by the time I was 18, I had already invested a lot in myself and was prepared to take it to the next level. Why did I do all this? I just wanted to be conscious of my actions and make the most of any business, especially if I invested money in it. I didn't want to be a kid who just blindly invests here and there, so I only started to use my money when I felt that I was ready. I want to share with you 3 thoughts on why you should invest first in yourself and only after in your project. First, this is necessary in order to manage the process, not only just adapting to what's happening. I mean the ability to think strategically and use accumulated experience. If all the events around you change each other so quickly that you don't have a time to react, be prepared for chaos. When you work on consciously creating yourself, you focus on the traits, skills, and experiences you need. This is great because the result of all such actions will help you achieve your goals. You are preparing for the upcoming trials and difficulties, but how can you manage with the anarchy without a set of skills for this? Think about it. If you now suddenly find yourself in an industry that you have never encountered before, auto mechanics, beauty industry, or anything else, do you really think that you'll be able to keep everything under control? Most likely, at some point, you simply cannot cope with the pressure of all this stuff and will allow the process to control you. But do you really need this in your life? You are in your place and you are following your goals. Don't allow anarchy to appear, have enough strength to lead the path you follow. And for this, you need first to invest in yourself. By the way, don't think that I'm against practice, this is my favorite tool. When you practice, you grow the fastest. For me, it's just an undeniable truth, and I always try to live everything from my own experience. Practice often acts as a teacher, which tempers your character and also gives all the necessary qualities and skills. My position is that you shouldn't lose your head and rush forward from the very beginning, just ignoring the logic. Start small and gradually increase the complexity. Invest in yourself, and at some point you'll feel that accumulated resources can be useful in other areas. Second, you need to invest in yourself in order to build a base thanks to which you will be able to assimilate the experience gained and not just pass it through yourself. This advice follows from the previous conclusion. Act consistently to become stronger and cope with what previously seemed to be unrealistic. Let's imagine this situation. You started your first business and decided to open an online store. We will assume that you have no previous experience and this idea came to your mind accidentally. You didn't even think about becoming an entrepreneur before. During the first weeks, you'll learn a huge number of complexities that will repel 90% of all business travelers. This is exactly what most people face who have saved money all their lives and at some point decided to invest everything in one business. They lose their capital because they are actually not ready for difficulties. Yes, in theory they were, but practice is a completely different matter. They try to skip a few steps and end up paying for it with years of effort. Why not to start with something simpler? You don't have to invest everything you have right away. Now imagine the second situation. What if at the time when the same idea came out, you already had a background in building your business, at least some experience. Even this base would make your position a little more stable, not to mention what would happen if you were in business for many years. It would be a different story. The difficulties would be familiar. You would have already encountered either the same problems or similar ones, and it would be much easier to deal with them. You will not deviate from the path because you will have a road that will keep you on the desired trajectory. Do you understand what I mean? Invest in yourself first, and the rest will come. Third, the result of investment in yourself remains with you forever, or at least for a very long time. No one will take away from you what kind of person you made yourself. This is the essence of accumulated experience. The compound effect works here, and eventually it flows into something very big. If you work hard on a particular skill, be sure that this investment will serve you for decades, always increasing your efficiency. Work on enhancing your character, train strong traits and skills that will open doors that were closed before. Learn to do what you need, not only what you want. Master the skill of time management, try new strategic approaches. If necessary, learn a foreign language, accounting, or a new way how to plan your future steps. The list is literally endless. All this will remain with you even if you start developing in one industry and then want to completely change it. Moreover, it will not go away even if you are currently employed and decide to go into business. Personally, I most efficiently absorb the experience that I get from practice. This means that if I want to master copywriting, I will start creating scripts for videos on YouTube. I will not only read about this endlessly, I will learn basics and then practice while reading more and more theory. The difference between what I warned you about in the first tip is the lack of serious investment in what you want to start. I will have zero cost for practical beginning in this area, and if I'll find a way to make money on this, there will be a double bonus. Build yourself step by step and you'll become stronger than your wildest dreams. I hope these tips were useful for you. In conclusion, I just want to say, always think strategically and plan few steps ahead. Always calculate in advance how today's decision will affect your future and where it will take you. You'll cope with everything. Guys, thank you so much for watching my videos, I highly appreciate it. So, if you found this video useful, give me your like. If you didn't, give me your dislike. Explain your position in the comments below, please, it will be very appreciated as well. And see you in a day after tomorrow. Thank you so much.